Let's have a look at the sine rule. The sine rule is typically the first rule you learn in terms of solving for sides and angles in non-right angle triangles. In terms of just labeling, we always label sides with small letters and angles with capital letters. And as you can see here, the side A is across from the angle A and the side B is across from the angle B. Now the sine rule is all about making links between the sides and the opposite angles. The sine rule is all about that. So the sine rule is simply A over sine A is equals to B over sine B. That's our sine rule. And we can use that rule to solve for sides and to solve for angles. So I'll do an example of solving for a side and solving for an angle using the sine rule. So let's take a triangle. Let's call this side 10. Let's call this side X. Let's call this angle here 60 degrees. Let's call this angle here 50 degrees. So the link, so X links with 50 and 10 links with 60. So filling into the sine rule, it's just simply 10 over sine 60 is equals to X over sine 50. That's the setup. Then you just have to solve that. The way most people generally solve that is by cross multiplying, all right, to get rid of the fraction. So 10 times sine 50 is equals to X times sine 60. Then to get X on its own, you're going to divide by sine 60. So 10 times sine 50 divided by sine 60 is equals to X. And then the calculator just finishes it off for you. And two decimal places, that will be 8.845. So 8.85 would be the answer there. 8.85. What about solving for an angle? You can also use the sine rule to solve for an angle. All right. So let's call this side 12. Let's call this side 14. Let's call this angle here 70 degrees. And let's call this angle here theta. We don't know what it is, so we just call it theta. We want to solve for the angle. So we can use the sine rule again. So 14 links with the 70, 12 links with the theta. So I can just start off by saying 14 over sine 70 equals 12 over sine theta. And I can do my cross multiplying again. So my next line is going to be 14 times sine theta equals 12 times sine 70. Now before I get theta on its own, I'll get sine theta on its own. So divide by 14. So sine theta equals 12 times sine 70 divided by 14. So sine theta equals, so I just go to my calculator now. So 12 sine 70 divided by 14 to 4 decimal places at 0.8055. That's what sine theta is. Then theta, as you guys know, would be sine inverse 0.8055. And once again, the calculator would finish it off for me. And in this case, we get 53.6 degrees. So if I go to the nearest degree, that's 54 degrees. So yeah, that's the sine rule. It's a fairly straightforward rule. Use that if you have a non-right angle triangle generally. You can use it in right angle triangles, but it's unnecessary. And it's all about creating links between sides and the opposite angle.